On this episode of the Procedurally Generated Show, Ethan plays a strange version of Mario, Shannon discusses the past, and Tony goes to the movies. We talk about the biggest news stories of the week and answer your questions. Howdy, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Procedurally Generated Show. I'm your host, Tony, and joining me this week, I've got Ethan.
Hey.
What's up, sir?
Nothing.
I'm starting the Warframe countdown on the Switch. We have 10 days to go as the time of this recording.
It's going to be really difficult to start a whole new character.
I haven't put enough time into the PlayStation version of the game to care about losing all that progress.
Well,
so
you'll be welcomed with a tutorial then. And
well, yeah.
You'll get your Tenno's feet wet again.
And I need a whole bunch of people to play this game with.
Yeah, you just need like 4.
That's true.
Well, 3, 4 counting you.
That's true. That I have almost no doubt that is going to be my destiny. Like, I'm going to talk about that game for months, like you talk about Destiny.
That's fair.
So,
I mean, I'll play it with you probably more than you play Destiny with me.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Also joining us this week, we got Shannon.
Hello.
You need to play Warframe with us.
No.
Yeah.
It's free.
It's free.
Not all free games are good games.
This is a fantastic.
I got more time in this than Tony does already.
I'm not getting bullied into playing something. I'm not doing it. I'm standing my ground. No bullying on the procedurally generated cast. No bullying.
We might bully you for this.
No.
Like, it is a free-to-play game that is legitimately free to play. You never have to spend a dime. And it's as good as a lot of AAA games. So, you need to play it.
How are they making money if it's free?
By making a game that's good enough that people want to spend money on it.
They charge funds or money or whatever for quick access to other Warframes.
Yes.
Gold variants and stuff, but you can actually get all of that in the game itself. It's a massive grind to get them and time investment to build.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
I mean, I think there's one that is definitely never coming back, and it's the gold variant of the default character. I think it's Excalibur or something.
Yeah, it's literally just cosmetic things and the ability to get things a little faster.
Oh yeah, Prime. That's what they're called, Primes. They're stronger versions.
So if there's something that you see in the game that you want and you think it's going to take, if it's going to take you 10 to 15 hours to get what you want and you want it now, you just pay for it and they give it to you.
Okay. Maybe I'll check it out. Is this PS4 only, or what is...
This is coming to Switch.
Coming
PC,
to Switch,
PS4, or Switch. No, I don't think there's crossplay.
No, there's not.
Which is sad because... Yeah.
That's like the only real sad thing about it is that there's no crossplay stuff and you can't move your stuff from one account to the other.
Is that
so
on Xbox or not?
I don't know. So, like, I've got 7 or 8 hours probably into my Warframe character, and I've earned a few things, but it's been so long since I played the game that I would want to just go ahead and start over. So, I'm not worried about having to start over on the Switch.
Oh, hey, it is on Xbox, and apparently has mouse and keyboard support.
There you go.
As of 5 hours ago, that's news, so...
That's breaking news. Yeah, we're not here to talk about Warframe, though. That'll be a couple weeks from now. Ethan, what have you been playing this week that's not Warframe?
All Night Nippon Super Mario Brothers.
I watched your stream of this. This game was bizarre.
That's one way to put it. Another way to put it is I cheated my way through that.
Oh, you certainly did.
And if you watched, I cheated for really good reasons. That I wanted to rage quit, so instead there was rage and save state loading constantly.
I had this stream up on my tablet, and even Becca walked by and she's like, I think he's cheating. I said, yeah, he most definitely is.
You're like, just watch him for 2 seconds. Death, 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 death. Reload, 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 reload. That's all it was.
You took advantage of those save states, my friend.
Well, yeah. I mean, you watch one too many speed runs, and suddenly you think you can do anything on the game.
So what exactly is this? It's a ROM hack of Mario,
It is
the
not a
original
ROM
Super Mario
hack.
Brothers.
It
Is it not?
This is an officially licensed retool of Super Mario Brothers, released in
Really?
It was released in 1986 for the Famicom Disk System.
Okay, I did not realize that. I thought this was a ROM hack.
It looks like it, based on a lot of stuff. This version's based on the Japanese radio program All Night Nippon, and it was given out as a raffle prize on the show. So that's
Okay.
how people were getting it. The game was actually published by Fuji TV, the same people that made Yume Kojo Doki Doki Panic,
Okay.
which is over here is Super Mario Brothers
Super Mario
2.
Brothers 2.
So that's kind of a cool thing. Probably the main differences, or that would notice right off the bat playing this would be uh, enemies being replaced with various likenesses of mascots and characters from that radio show. In fact, every time you go and save a toad, that would tell you the princess is in another castle.
Hmm.
It's one of the hosts from the show.
Okay, and I like that nice rainbow at the end of all of those characters that you had saved.
Oh yeah, uh, I think the regular Mario game does that with all the toads, doesn't it?
Maybe the Super Nintendo version of it. I don't think in the original version it was just Peach that would show up,
Okay.
but
Um.
I think in the Super Mario All Stars version they would all jump out of a bag.
Okay. That's weird. Oh yeah, and Peach, she was in a kimono whenever I saved her instead of the dress. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And this also has some hidden levels on there, and I would have to beat the game a total of 8 times to get all eight completion stars, so I can unlock the hidden A world, so I can go through 4 more levels, just so I
And
can get the hidden person saved.
I think I told you you should do this.
You did, and
You said no.
yeah, yeah, no. I could probably cheat my way through it, maybe.
I mean, that wouldn't be any different than what you did the first time through the game.
True. Very true. Some other little things to note. This also uses some of the Super Mario Brothers 2, the actual Mario Brothers 2. Over here, it's Lost Levels. You have Luigi has his physics from that game, and there's also the skidding sound effect whenever you just suddenly try to go the other direction while running. And there's even some of the levels from 2 or Lost levels that are swapped in for different levels on here.
Yeah. It's a really interesting looking game, and I think after I watched you play it, I was like, maybe I should go and just at least give this version of the game a try.
Which I reminded you have it.
Yes. So I have no excuse.
Yes, my plan from a year ago is all falling into place finally.
That's what you just wanted me to play this game, and so that's why you sent me a Raspberry Pi.
Yes, so you're catching on.
Okay.
Oh, and this is also the first time I managed to do the. Well, I cheated to do it, but I mean, actually getting it to work was kind of a chore within itself. The small fire Mario glitch.
Which is the only way to play that game, unless you're just speed running through.
No, speedrunners do that too.
That's true. I have seen some
That
speedrunners do that.
like if they're doing all levels, they're gonna go out of their way to do that trick.
Well, yeah, but if you're just trying to get like the fastest time, you're not going to bother wasting time trying to get small Mario, with fireballs.
It makes it easier to get past Bowser in most cases.
That it does.
But I'm like fastest time, no, and it's not all levels. Then yeah, you're using those warp pipes.
I don't think I've ever played through the original Super Mario Brothers by playing through every level.
This was, I guess you could say, this is technically my first time doing that.
Once I learned those warp locations, that's how I play through the game. My muscle memory is going through World 1, warping to World 4, warping to World 8, and being done.
There's just they make it so easy to do on there. I mean, you see this thing that looks like okay, here's your timer and lives, and then you go in the state 1 2, and you can actually get up there and go past that boundary of bricks and say, oh, there's hidden stuff here. This is
Yeah,
interesting. So yeah, that getting to explore outside the boundaries is kind of a cool thing, and of course we're gonna do it.
there you go. All right. Was that it?
Yes,
Okay.
I had to think it over.
What about you, Shannon? What have you been playing this week?
He's muted.
Yeah, you think I'd know how to do this by now? That mute button, it just gets away from me.
This is staying on the show. I'm not. I'm not editing this.
That's okay. That's okay. My blunder becomes your entertainment.
Yes.
There you go.
Less work
So-
for me.
So I actually bought a new old stock Xbox 360 last week. So I know I discussed this with you guys kind of off show last week and
Mhm.
what the plans were for this. First, I will say this was a hot find at Walmart, just sitting lonely in the bottom shelf of a electronics department, waiting for somebody to pick it up. And it box was faded and beat to crap, but it was still sealed and new, and I was very pleased to get it home and find out that it was the matte version of the Xbox 360 in there, and even though the box looked like it was glossy on the outside. So it's not going to be a fingerprint or scratch magnet like some of those shiny piano finish systems tend to be.
Yeah, that's like the worst thing about the PS4 is that one little bit that is that glossy plastic.
Yeah.
Like it makes no sense. Why put that on there? It makes the system look ugly once because it's gonna get scratched. There's no way around it.
Yeah, it looks really good on display in a store, but when you get it home and you use it daily, or your cat rubs against it, or the kids touch it, it gets filthy and gross, and just little tiny hairline wispy scratches that
hmm
pile
build
and
up
pile
over
and
time.
pile. Yeah. So first and foremost, this is the first 360 I've had since a launch 360.
Okay.
Which I had Red Ring about a year and a half after I bought it, which was before Microsoft started honoring warranty service outside of the year window for that. So I shaded and turned my back on the 360 and went and bought a Wii. So like,
Did
that's
you
kind of where.
did you ever
Go ahead.
pay to have that 360 fixed?
No, I threw it in the trash.
Oh, because they like mine did the same thing, and then they started doing the repair stuff that you mentioned for
Hmm.
the whatever it was, and you would actually get a check back in the mail later if you were part of the retro active part of that.
Yeah, see, I had no idea. I just remember having the issue, calling them to try and get it repaired because when I think I had bought it at Best Buy at that point, years and years ago when I still lived in Florida. And when I brought it back to Best Buy, they said, okay, well, here's the number to Microsoft. You can give them a call and see what they'll do. And they wanted to charge me. It was about half the cost of buying a new system. And I said, forget you guys. For that same price, I could buy a Wii. So I just put my money towards buying a Wii.
Yep.
That was how I looked at it. And I'm pretty sure that that 360 went in the trash because I couldn't get it to power on. I mean, anytime I plugged it up, the moment you touched the button, it just started up flashing three red lights and would never go any further than that. So,
Sounds like
um,
the Red Ring of Death. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it just I got burned, and I was angry at Microsoft, and we discussed this when I got my 360, or I mean my Xbox One in December of last year. I was amazed that like I had Xbox Live Gold at that point, and all of my game saves on like uh, Geometry Wars and N Plus and like Hexic and some other stuff. Even though it was just petty stuff like high scores, all of that information was saved and carried over on games that were backwards compatible. So like when I booted up Geometry Wars, Geometry Wars 2, I think on the Xbox One, it had my progress and all of that stuff just saved because their cloud storage stuff was, I guess, active back in 2000, what, 6, 7, something like that. So
Yes.
I get just I was really surprised and amazed at how well that was handled. And 2018 has kind of been a renaissance for me with Microsoft because I don't know, I've enjoyed my Xbox more than anything here.
You just really wanted to play
Mostly
Forza.
mostly around Forza. Yeah, I fell in love with the Forza Horizon games, and that's kind of all I do when I don't have anything better to do. So, um, I had a lingering desire to find a 360 in the back of my head because Forza, the Forza Rewards Hub is something that's constantly going. That you earn weekly bonuses in all of the Forza games based off of your progress in all of the Forza games. So you have this point value that gives you a ranking, and your rank based on your ranking, you will earn X amount of credits on a weekly basis in every one of the Forza games. So right now I am rank 8 out of a possible 13. You can only earn so many points in each game because it's based off of things like consecutive days played and like your gamer score, how many complete passes perfect passes you have in races, or how big your vehicle collection or your garage is in each game. Stuff like that gives you points in this rewards hub. And I've hit a point where I can't really go much further with the games that are available on the Xbox One. So Forza Motorsport 5, Motorsport 6, Motorsport 7, Horizon 3, and Horizon 4. I have pretty much maxed out my like what I can earn outside of my consecutive days played or things that I feel are achievable. Like I've maxed out my garage in each one of the games. I've hit the perfect passes. I've done all the barn finds. I've done all of the stuff that I can simply easily do without needing to be super skilled or get into the competitive online side of it.
Hmm.
The tracking is still active for the Xbox 360 games. So Forza Motorsport 2, 3, and 4 that were on the Xbox 360 that are not backwards compatible with the Xbox One, I can now play those on this 360 and continue to build towards the Forza Rewards Hub with the newer games.
You're like all in on this, and it's
I
amazing.
I really enjoy these games. I never thought I would, but I also know I'll never be able to drive like a Senna McLaren or, like these are just cars that they have gone to such a ridiculous detail to recreate. It breaks my heart that this is not on PlayStation VR. If I had one dream, one wish, I wish that I could play these Forza games in VR because I would want to sit in the car.
Yeah.
Like if that was a thing, I would instantly buy a Thrustmaster racing wheel. I would go all in because I love how much detail they've or how much effort they've gone to make these vehicles so perfectly representative of their real counterpart. Like the same way that you guys remember the Sega 3D classics that came out on the 3DS, where like Sega was touting how they found these old arcade machines and they went to the machines and they recorded the sound that a 100 yen coin would make as it dropped into the slot, or the sound of the power up, or the sound of the buzz of the monitor. They went to the effort of recreating all of these sounds for these 3D classics. That's what Forza does with all of these cars. Like when when I play when I drive the Dodge Avenger that's in Forza Motorsport 6, it looks, it sounds, it drives exactly like my wife's Dodge Avenger does. It's really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. Sorry. All of that to basically discuss that I grabbed a 360. I went through and discovered that all of my purchases were still there, including Scott Pilgrim, which I forgot that I had bought.
Good game.
So I now have a way to play Scott Pilgrim again, which is cool.
And it's a good thing you bought that because you can't get it anymore.
Yeah, I think, and that game came out after I got rid of my 360. I think I logged in on somebody else's 360 and bought it when we were doing like a game night at somebody's house or something. But that content license is on my account, as well as some other stuff. Things that, like, you can't go to the the legacy Xbox website anymore and look at your old purchase history from the early 2000s. But they've archived that stuff, so the system is at least able to pull it up. I also had to go through and delete my old Xbox 360 from my account history, because when I would queue up downloads, it was telling me that they were queued for another device, and I'm assuming that only means that they were queued for the device that went in the garbage.
Yeah. And that one's
But,
not connecting to the internet anytime soon.
Yeah, no, but there was a simple tutorial for that on the Major Nelson website. So apparently that came when they updated the dashboard. Something about the whatever system was originally registered with your 360 or with your Xbox Live ID became your default system. So when you queue a download, it's going to assume it's going to that as your primary system. So I just had to go through and delete that old one. But it was cool, and I am waiting on a copy of DJ Hero 2 for the Xbox 360 to show up, because I'm going to fix something that I hate it when an achievement is not worth a round number like 5 or 0.
Oh, I know.
And I got an achievement playing DJ Hero 2. I don't remember whose house I played it at, but I played DJ Hero 2 on the 360 somewhere, and I got a 2-point achievement. So now I need to play this game again and get the matching 3-point achievement so I can get my gamer score back up to a round number. Anyway,
All this so you can play Forza and take care of your OCD.
yep, it was cool though. And now I've got there's a handful of games that I really want to get. Like I want to get Dodonpachi Resurrection, which I think was a 360 exclusive cave shooter, and Muchi Muchi Pork and Pink Sweets, which is another
Hey, I have that game.
cave shooter. Man, I can't believe how expensive it is. Like that's it's
And
on
it's
my wish
region
list.
free, so that's nice.
A lot of those the Japanese released cave 360 games are region free, from what I understand. So
Yep.
I'm going through trying to find some stuff that's not backwards compatible, and that's what this is going to be. It's going to be here for those rare occasions that I want to sit down and just play a weird game that I can't play on anything else.
Cool.
Nice. That's one thing I really, with your ability to just log in and see, oh, hey, here are all my things. I could just download them again. I wish Nintendo would do that. Like, seriously.
Yeah, I mean it is excellent on the 360 and the Xbox One, because the Xbox One it tells you, if I've had stuff that I owned on the 360 that wasn't backwards compatible, and then it just becomes backwards compatible, and it's like, oh hey, this just got added to your library today, like
Yeah.
SSX, like the Xbox 360 version of SSX had it digitally from playing it somewhere, and it just showed up on my system when they added it a couple months back. So super cool. I love it. I wish the same were true for the PS4 and for the Nintendo Switch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like just imagine you'd be sitting there, you open up a new Switch and you turn it on, and all of your GameCube games are just sitting there waiting for you.
I don't think it would ever work with that, but I would love to turn it on and see my WiiWare stuff or my
That especially because there's a lot of stuff on the Wii and the WiiWare stuff that I just can't play right now.
yeah.
And with them shutting down the Wii store, you can't get that stuff anymore.
WiiWare
Oh
and everything on Virtual Console. It'd just be nice to see it all, no matter which system you jumped on.
man, I just remembered they're going to be shutting down the PS3. Oh man,
Yep.
that's happening in like a month. I need to go through and I need to probably buy a bigger hard drive for my PS3 and go download all of my content. Dang it. Anyway, that's it for me. Tony, I heard you saw a movie.
I did see a movie. Um, and I wanted to talk about this because all I've played this week is Brawlhalla, and I talked about that last week. And I played Wheel of Fortune, so I mean, I could talk about Wheel of Fortune, but that game's been around for 30 something years, and this is just another version of Wheel of Fortune. My wife is way better at Wheel of Fortune than I am, so I need to get Jeopardy because I can beat her at that game.
Stacking the odds. Got it.
Exactly. No, but I took the kids to the movies today. This is the first time that we've taken Andrew and Abby to the movies.
Cool.
And we went and saw The Grinch.
Nice.
And when I said this, you were like, you asked me what I thought, and you were immediately like, no.
So, okay, you say your opinion, and then I will give mine. Go for it.
I really liked this. I went into this movie thinking it was going to be a stupid, just dumb movie. And it wasn't that. At least I don't think it was. It was a very, very good family movie.
So, we took Travis to the drive-in. That's usually where we go because double features are great. And
Oh, absolutely.
and we did go see The Grinch as well. My feelings on it, I saw exactly where things were going, like within the first 20 minutes, because the story is a little bit different from classic Grinch.
A little bit.
But
Mostly the same, but a little bit different.
I saw the twist coming. I saw what was going to happen. I just knew it. I couldn't believe they made Cindy Lou's mom a single mother with 3 kids. Like
Yeah,
they
that
this
was
is
the only part that I was a little confused about because it's never really brought up. It's never really mentioned during the movie as to why Cindy Lou's dad is not around, like at all.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
this is definitely designed towards a modern kids audience.
like the one thing I really appreciated with that though was that they didn't use that to make jokes
Yeah.
about dad not being there.
Yeah.
They didn't use it to make her the super, tired mom with a bottle of Who brew in her hand or whatever, and stuff like that. So, uh, like the only thing that's mentioned or that points at that is at the very beginning of the movie, she gets off work, she gets on the bus, and she just immediately falls to sleep
Yeah.
because she's tired. And that was it. And that's the only time that like family stuff is ever even brought up during the movie. So that was the only thing I was a little confused about was dad not being there and why they didn't mention it at all. I thought this was much more true to the original story than like the Jim Carrey movie was.
Yeah. I'll give you that. The Jim Carrey one's not that good. I still like the original a whole lot more.
Well, yeah, nothing's gonna top the original Grinch. Um, but I think this, for me, comes in a very close second.
Yeah.
They go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I just some of the decisions that were made with like how they modernized it, and like they didn't bother giving the Grinch an in-depth backstory like they did with the Jim Carrey thing, but they made him out to. I'm not gonna. How much can I discuss this without just digging into
I
spoilers?
don't know. They basically, I think they've taken the one little bit of the Jim Carrey movie that I guess is now like Grinch canon, and that he's an orphan. That's the only sort of like nod to that movie I saw, was that the reason he is the way he is in this is because he was abandoned as a child, basically.
Yeah.
Um,
I just I don't feel like he was given enough of a reason to dislike the Christmas spirit. Like, because they don't ever spend any point in the movie painting the Who's as selfish thing loving people like they have in the others. And they don't do anything to really paint the Grinch as a horrible person
yeah.
like they have in other movies. Like
No.
it just seems very bland. There's no extreme one way or the other. It's bad guy does a bad thing, has a change of heart, and comes back. It's
Yeah.
not. It's
See,
not anybody being really bad.
in
Or-
this, he's a much more sympathetic character.
Yeah.
Like he's not a bad guy.
Mhm.
He hates Christmas because of what happened to him as a child, and it just sort of festered for 53 years. And he hit his breaking point and was like, okay, that's it. I can't have Christmas around anymore because it reminds me of what happened so long ago. And he does the whole steal everything and has the change of heart. So, because he's not a character in this movie that is completely isolated from the Who's like he is in the other two versions of the story.
Yeah, that was weird. Like, he knew his neighbors and the townsfolk knew him. It was weird.
Yeah. So he's around. He's in Whoville a lot. He just doesn't like to talk to people because all they talk about is Christmas.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good movie. My kids, I was surprised. First of all, they sat through the entire movie and watched the whole thing, and at the end, they wanted to watch it again.
Travis was about the same. He enjoyed it. And Illumination Studios does a really good job with the animation. That's one thing that they deserve a lot of credit for. Is
It's a beautiful movie.
They made it look really good.
It is a beautiful movie. Um, I'm not a huge fan of Illumination. I mean, there's a few of their movies that I like the first Despicable Me I really liked. They sort of went downhill and then dropped off a cliff by the time Minions came around. Uh,
You know, they're Shrek, man. They're gonna make Shrek.
Illumination's also making the Mario movie.
Oh no.
Oh man.
So you got that.
I will say
You
I
got
was
that.
surprised that there were no minions in this movie.
Oh, I was very glad. Like there weren't even. I don't even think I saw a minion just like sitting on a shelf anywhere.
I was
So
I like some of the very telling things that this came out of Illumination was the intricacy of all of the gadgets that he has.
yes,
When like when he's doing the stilts or the weird ladder, or you see like all these Rube Goldberg machine type things, it very much points back towards Despicable Me, and you're like, man, that's
Mhm.
somebody just really likes drawing this crazy junk.
But it also fit in with Dr. Seuss's sort of world. I mean,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
didn't go crazy over the top with that stuff like they did in the Jim Carrey movie. It was much more subtle, but still, it felt like it could have fit into any Dr. Seuss type movie. And I think Keenan Thompson's character was my favorite.
yep,
Like that was a fun character. I
yep.
could absolutely see, like, anytime he was talking, I could see Keenan Thompson in a booth doing all of the stuff that his character was doing in that movie. Um, but I liked that character. I personally would highly recommend this to anybody that has kids. If you want to see a good family Christmas movie, this is one to go see. Like, you don't have to worry about stupid jokes. You don't have to worry about, you know, the immature humor that a lot of kids' movies throw in there. There's a little bit of that. I think the worst thing is the stuff you see in the trailers with like the pickle joke.
Yeah.
Um, so, but we do disagree a little bit, but I think this is a really good movie.
Yep. Fun thing or fun fact that I learned: the Grinch is actually wearing pants.
Yes. Which is weird. He has and did you notice that all of his outfits were labeled like
Yeah,
according to his mood, but
yeah.
they're all exactly the same.
Okay. Some of the stuff was clever. I have some issues with how they modernized the movie, but it was a good family movie. That's a good
Yes,
point.
absolutely. So other than that, unless you want to talk about Wheel of Fortune, let's take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll talk about the news. All right, guys. So, do any of you still buy strategy guides on a regular basis?
On a regular basis, no. Occasionally, when I feel like it, yes.
Okay.
Define regular basis.
Like even I don't know. Even once. Do you buy strategy guides once a year? I don't know.
Yeah,
Not even that
Well,
much.
I bought the God of War strategy guide this year, and I
Oh,
bought the Pokemon Sun and Moon Pokedex, the Prima Pokedex thing, like last year, year before. Oh
cool.
my god!
well, you won't be able to do that for any more Pokemon games because
Oh
Prima is closing their doors
And not just a
man!
Pokemon.
to everything. It's not officially happening until the spring, but they are not going to be publishing any more guides as of now.
Aw.
So, like with Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee coming up, there might have been a Prima guide for those. That's probably not going to happen unless they're already on shelves, but I don't think they are. The company has said that that is it. They are closing their doors, so not even online. They're just done.
Mhm.
uh, which kind of sucks because I love like I haven't bought many recently, but I do still like picking up strategy guides every once in a while and looking through them. Because there's still a lot of stuff in those that is just it's interesting to read through. But that won't happen anymore. And I don't know what that's going to mean though for like the online stuff. If you have the digital versions of Prima strategy guides, because I do have a few. I've picked up a couple of the ones from like My Nintendo that they've offered. I wonder if you're going to be able to access those. If there's going to be any way to download those, because up to this point they've been web only. You couldn't download those strategy guides even to your computer.
I think the only one they ever let me download was like a small 2-page PDF or whatever this
Uh-huh.
one game was. I don't remember at this point.
So uh, that does mean, Ethan, that some of those other sites will be able to pick up some traffic probably.
Yep. I will not name them, but everyone knows what I'm talking about.
So that's kind of sad that that is anytime physical media like that closes down. It's sad because I still do like to have physical magazines, physical strategy guides, those things that you can pick up and hold in your hands while you're looking through them.
I still love the old Nintendo uh, player's guides where it's just the whole level is a layout between 2 pages. And
Like those were always my favorite bits of like the Nintendo Power magazines was when they would toss in the entire layout to a level for a game and show you where everything in that level was hidden. So that was always really neat to me.
yeah,
But that is one more physical media company that is shutting their doors.
Stinks.
But on the plus side, if you have an Xbox One, you could play Final Fantasy 13 now.
This is cool.
Really, you are down with playing Final Fantasy 13. I think you're the first person I've heard of that is interested in that. No,
I genuinely enjoyed base game Final Fantasy 13. I did not play either of the sequels, but I liked Corridor Simulator, the video game. A lot of people trashed Final Fantasy 13 for being too linear. I
Mhm.
enjoy that type of game.
okay.
So,
All three of the Final Fantasy 13 games are now backwards compatible on the Xbox One.
cool. When they go on sale, I will buy them.
I've been threatening Ethan for a while, saying I was going to pick up all of these games and that he was going to have to play through them with me. I may just have to do that.
do it.
I love, love, love. We already talked about it, man. I'm so happy that Microsoft is doing this stuff. I have a list of games that I want to see come to back compat. I want to see Azura's Wrath. I want to see Lollipop Chainsaw. I would love to see Stubbs the Zombie. Man, they just keep adding, Man, so
There's
good.
one game that was like on the original Xbox that I would love to play again. And I think
Still
they
Battalion.
no, not Steel Battalion. They re-released it not that long ago. I don't know, within the last couple of years, but that's Voodoo Vince.
Yeah,
Oh,
they did a Voodoo Vince remastered. Um, I think for Halloween, it was like on their Halloween sale for like $5.
Yeah.
Real cheap.
Like that's one of the few original Xbox games that I can remember playing, just really enjoying, and I was very happy when I saw that they were going to be re-releasing that. But then I remembered I don't have an Xbox One, and I'm not going to buy an Xbox One just to play Voodoo Vince.
There's a lot of good reasons to own an Xbox One.
That may be true, but I can play Fortnite and Warframe on my Switch.
I'm talking about reasons other than Fortnite and Warframe, like Forza.
Like Final Fantasy 13.
Final Fantasy 13.
I can play Final Fantasy 13 on my PS3.
You can't play Forza on your PlayStation device.
Not
That's
with
true.
that attitude.
If I put the disc in and believe hard enough, I could play Forza on the PS3. That's how it works, right?
No,
Oh.
I wish. Anyway, yeah.
So, but yeah, like all three of the Final Fantasy 13 games have joined the backwards compatibility list on the Xbox One.
Very cool. Keep it up, Microsoft.
We now have to follow that though with a little bit more sad news.
I still haven't played Final Fantasy 13 3.
That is the sad news.
Yep, you're welcome, everyone. I'm sorry.
No, Team Cherry this week announced that they are canceling the planned physical edition for Hollow Knight.
No.
But Shannon, you looked into this a little bit more, and you think maybe there's a reason that they've done this, and that it's not completely canceled, sort of.
Yeah. So here's a quote from their blog. They after coming out and saying it was canceled, they said, "We are regretfully announcing the cancellation of physical copies of Hollow Knight and our partnership with Skybound Games." The developer said in their blog post, "As a team of 3 people, it is still in as a team of 3 people still in intensive production of Hollow Knight, taking the game into the retail space, even with the extensive assistance of Skybound, proved more work than we could reasonably manage. In the future, we will investigate other ways to deliver physical versions of Hollow Knight, though they will likely be in smaller quantities." They concluded by saying, "We thank Skybound for the amazing opportunity they provided and for their professionalism and enthusiasm the whole way." So, here's my thing. Skybound was trying to get them into a retail environment.
Mm-hmm.
Retail usually kills indies. Just because you are flooding the market with something that not a lot of people know about, and it's going to end up in a Walmart dump bin for $10 within a year, and then you guys, the developer doesn't make any money, because the way a lot of that stuff works is it's guaranteed sales. So if that stuff doesn't sell, then they're responsible to give the difference back to whatever the retailer is. Whatever doesn't sell at that $20 price point or whatever they put it on the shelf for, they're responsible for covering the difference in the retailer's loss.
Yeah.
The fact that they say in that second paragraph on their quote, it says that they will be looking at releasing physical versions through smaller quantities. It makes me wonder if a company like Limited Run or what's the other one, Super Limited or something like that.
Super Limited.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if one of these other teams went to them and said, "Hey, we will do a batch of 5,000, 10,000, something really small that will just get your core audience, and it's going to, we can guarantee you this exact profit margin on this exact amount, and then you're not left out in the cold for handling the retail space after the holiday." It makes me wonder if they went, "Yep, this is a safer bet. We'd rather do that."
Mm-hmm.
So,
which is a very good possibility. So, but yeah, if I know a couple people that were really interested in picking this game up physically.
I really enjoy it on the Switch. I think it's a fantastic Metroidvania meets Dark Souls. It's a lot of fun. It's super hard, and it is it has a mystique to it that is its own.
Yeah, and it's one that I've looked at and thought, I'd be interested in playing it, but I have to find the time to want to pick it up. And I got Warframe to play, so
That's right.
Forget your Warframe.
So there you go. YouTube is now available on the Switch for anybody that is curious about that. I don't think we've talked about that yet. That just sort of snuck out onto the system.
Merge your Movies Anywhere account with with Google, and then you get all of your Movies Anywhere movies on your Switch through YouTube.
which is really nice. I found out about that this week through the announcement of the app coming to the Switch. It looks a little washed out, I think, on the Switch screen when it's in handheld mode compared to on the TV, but it's perfectly watchable. But it was nice to see that any of the movies that I have close to 100 movies in my Movies Anywhere account right now. They were all sitting there, every single one of them. And then the best news of the week: Urban Champion is now available on the Switch.
Heck yeah.
That game is terrible. Don't buy it, but it is available for anybody that does want to play it.
For the same price as Urban Champion, you can get Garo, what is that in a Neo Geo game? Mark of the Wolves.
For less than the price of Urban Champion, you'll be able to play Warframe.
For more than the price of Urban Champion, you can play Destiny 2.
That's true. That is true. Unless you got it through PlayStation Plus, and then it is less than Urban Champion.
Yeah, but you want the DLC, which is like 20, 40, 30. It's one of those prices I just threw out.
Still a better deal than Urban Champion.
Indeed.
There you go. That is the news. So let's move on to listener feedback. And we got one question this week from Cole via Facebook, who says, with Half-Life 3 being confirmed, what other sequels are you looking forward to?
It wasn't confirmed. That was
But we saw the
Kojima
pictures.
visiting his friends.
Kojima was there. He was making a peace sign, and Gabe Newell had another finger up. That was 3. They confirmed Half-Life 3.
A Hideo Kojima game.
There you go. He's canceling that other game with Norman Reedus. He's just going to make... Or that is Half-Life 3. That's what they're going to sneak that out right at the end. They're going to change the title of the game, and it's going to be Half-Life 3. So...
I'm still going to play it.
Are there any sequels coming out that you guys are looking forward to?
Well, Red Dead Redemption already got its sequel out.
That it did.
I haven't got a copy yet, but I will eventually. And I
It's
look
not
forward
been
to that.
announced, but I know Shannon is looking forward to the next Forza game.
As he should be.
Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yes, that's a good one right there.
So.
Bullet Witch 2.
Man, if only.
It hasn't been announced, nor are there plans for it. But the hype is real.
I would say I am very much looking forward to the new Persona dancing games. Those are on the way.
Yeah, we're about a month away from those.
Yep.
Demos are live.
Yep.
Farming Simulator 19 is coming out soon.
Oh man, okay. Farming Simulator 15 is on Game Pass, and I cannot wrap my head around what I'm supposed to do. All Travis wants to do is drive a tractor, but I don't have enough money to buy a tractor, and I don't know how to make money.
You
What
didn't.
is
You
farming
should have started out with a tractor.
Like, I had a combine, and I was supposed to do something with it, but I don't know what I was supposed to do with it.
You were supposed to harvest all the crops that were on your tutorial field.
All Travis wants to do is drive a tractor, and I can't find a tractor for him to drive.
Hey, Shannon.
That's all Andrew wants to do in that game as well. So
Shannon, you can find a guide online. You don't have to wait for a Prima book.
that's true.
Salt. So much salt.
Hey, let me take a sip from this cup of awesomeness here.
Farming Simulator is a little more involved than planting trees in Animal Crossing. Unless you're playing, well, I mean, I was gonna say, even Animal Crossing on your phone. It's way more involved than that.
It's a little more involved than Harvest Moon or Stardew Valley.
That's true. That's true. So yeah, because you have to manage your harvester. You got your sowing vehicles. You got your tractor. You got your truck that you need to hook up your trailers to haul your pigs off to the butcher. You got all your other stuff as well. It's way more involved. So
are we still talking about sequels? Because I have another one.
I have
What is
no
it?
idea.
Like Travis Strikes Again, that No More Heroes sequel coming to the Switch.
okay.
Like that's like it comes out in January, I think, and I don't even know what that game is. All I know is they did like a teaser trailer at E3, and I'm just like, I'm in.
You need to just get your son a shirt with the logo of that game on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need to find out when the voice actor is going to be at a convention near you and take your son, get a picture with the voice actor.
Yep.
And he's got to be cosplaying as Travis.
Yep.
Wait, doesn't he cosplay as Travis every day?
It's dual purpose.
Oh, okay.
So in other words, what you're saying is I need to just hand Travis a Wii remote, and then now he is Travis Touchdown.
And some sunglasses.
Oh, yeah. Never, don't forget sunglasses.
A Wii remote and some sunglasses. There you go. So, that will be the show for this week. So, thank you, Shannon, for being on the show.
Pleasure as always.
And Ethan, thank you as well.
I have nothing thought of that's clever to say this time.
If you want to reach out to us, we have tons of new ways to do so. You can email us at podcast@procgent.com. That's PROCGENT.com. You can send us a voicemail if you want by clicking on the voicemail link on the right side of the website. You can send us voicemails up to 90 seconds in length, and we'll play those on future episodes of the show and respond to the questions that you have. If you like what we do here, you can now support us on Patreon, patreon.com/pgint. Patreon supporters will get a video version of the podcast a day early. These will normally go out on Tuesdays. Patreon supporters will get them on Monday. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/progenint. Check out our YouTube channel that we've got and see the content we've got going on up there. And then we still do have the Facebook group where you can interact with us on a daily basis as well.